army is ready to fight.
Wake up to the reality!
The Navy's secret crisis. 67% of ships aren't combat ready. The USS Stout was supposed to be one of the Navy's most advanced destroyers when it left port last fall. But when Chinese warships appeared over the horizon during a tense standoff in the South China Sea, the unthinkable happened. The Stout's radar failed completely. Sailors scrambled to fix the system as their captain stared helplessly at the blinking console, realizing they'd be defenseless if hostilities broke out. This wasn't an isolated incident. It's the terrifying new normal for a US Navy where nearly 7 out of 10 ships can't perform their basic combat missions. The Navy's several children mark my femurs and the graphic frequently. Internal Navy readiness reports obtained through FOIA requests reveal a fleet in crisis. Of the Navy's 298 deployable ships, only 98 meet the minimum readiness standards for wartime operations. The rest suffer from chronic maintenance failures, missing spare parts, and crews stretched dangerously thin. Aircraft carriers can't launch full air wings. Destroyers sail with broken missile systems. Nuclear submarines sit idle waiting for repairs that take years instead of months. The mighty US Navy, the same force that dominated World War II, is becoming a paper tiger, is one of me. The evidence is overwhelming. The USS George Washington spent more time tied to the pier than at sea last year due to maintenance delays. The USS Boise hasn't submerged in 7 years because of hull repairs that keep getting postponed. Shockingly, Navy investigators found some ships reporting fully operational status while missing critical systems, commanders falsifying records to avoid being sidelined. Meanwhile, China's Navy now outproduces us in warships 4-1, with vessels that spend 50% more days at sea than ours. The guessed that readiness collapse has dire consequences beyond national pride. War game scenarios show Chinese forces overwhelming our undermanned, under-maintained fleet in any Pacific conflict. Without functioning Aegis missile systems, our carriers would be sitting ducks against China's hypersonic anti-ship weapons. The math is brutal. We have fewer ships, with older systems that break down more often. If war came tomorrow, thousands of sailors could die because their equipment failed at the worst possible moment. In Navy Sect, the roots of this crisis trace back to Washington's broken priorities. Navy leaders admit they've been sacrificing maintenance and training to keep more ships deployed on paper, a dangerous shell game meant to hide the truth from Congress. The shipbuilding budget gets raided to fund pet projects, while dry docks sit empty. The Navy spends billions on futuristic concepts like drone ships, while fixing this requires painful but necessary steps. Immediately retire the 50 worst performing ships to focus resources. Triple funding for shipyard modernization. Slash bureaucratic procurement rules that delay repairs for years, and implement ruthless accountability for commanders who falsify readiness reports. Most importantly, Congress must stop using the Navy as a jobs program and start treating readiness as a national security emergency. The time to act is now, before the next crisis finds our ships dead in the water when we need them most. Share these findings. Demand hearings. The sailors risking their lives deserve warships that actually work, not hollow hulls with fancy paint jobs. America's naval dominance didn't erode overnight, but unless we act decisively, it could disappear before our eyes.